It does get tricky though when you're in a pandemic and now you could make the argument that they are acting as a, whether they wanted to or not, fate seems to have handed it to where they are the public square. They are, when no one can go meet. They are, you have to take that argument. And to me, my worry comes from is, again, sure, they want to, that's fine. It's their company. They do whatever they want. I don't support it, and I'll continue to bitch about it, but it's whatever. One, the credibility of the episode that I had banned, 370, was with a woman who worked in the CIA for 20 years in the Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Trump administrations. I tend to think that what she states is well-founded, been on CNN, been on Fox. But the other thing is I can't help but think, can you imagine maybe like a Ron Paul tweet if Twitter existed in 2003 saying they're banging the war drums, they want to go to Iraq for oil and defense contracts, there is no proof of WMDs, and then imagine the banner saying this has been disputed, and it's like, and we now know that at 1.5 million civilians and 5,000 American servicemen died over there, and it's like, I mean, imagine a tweet in 1968 saying the Gulf of Tonkin, hey, this might have been a fomented thing, right? I mean, imagine doctors saying, hey, I only smoke Lucky Strikes, they're perfectly healthy. And imagine someone saying, well, actually, some new independent research from this unpolitical lab has saying that there might actually be carcinogens in there, and they're going, trust the science. And it's like, well, we kind of get into this weird thing where like physicians did take money. Harvard Medical School did take money in the 80s to write papers saying that large amounts of sugar and simple carbohydrates did not cause diabetes because that helped with the existing pyramid, and it helped big companies like General Mills sell cereal. So we do have this weird, I mean, you could go back to,
imagine who watches the watchers?
Well, exactly. So you get back to this point of like, now we know global warming is a thing, but imagine going back 50 years and someone saying, hey, you know what, I think there's this global warming thing, and they're saying, what? Buy Rockefeller oil. So it is an easy shield to hide behind. Trust the science, you stupid Trump tard. It's an easy shield to hide behind. It's a lot like hiding behind the national security shield. But time and time again, it's not that the science isn't true. Science is true. I have a biology degree. I got into medical and pharmacy school and published research that's hosted on the National Institutes of Health. I am trusting the science, but there are malicious forces that hide behind that blanket justification of trust the science. Because when you have a doctor, when you have a nice white square-jawed doctor in a white coat saying, smoke Lucky Strikes. Okay. When you got a hot woman smoking and drinking a martini and saying, my baby's fine, and everyone goes, okay. And if you question that and say, well, maybe that has developmental problems on the nervous system of the baby, and someone goes, trust the science, you moron. It's when all the car companies were lobbying against the implementation of seatbelts and airbags. What if you came out and said, hey, I think airbags and seatbelts might greatly reduce fatalities, and someone says, trust the science, dude. Well, who's hiding behind the science? That's where the trust the science questioning comes in. And if you question it, doesn't matter. People say, trust the science, dude. Copernicus was an enemy of the state, all right? He wasn't trusting the science. So it's not that I have any question about the science. It's that there are people who hide behind that argument, right? I guarantee you ExxonMobil is the number one pusher behind these AstroTurf movements to, there's no global warming. So, yes, trust the science, but at the same time, it's like, the history
whose science do you trust?
The entire history of science is it's trusted until the model is shattered, and then you create a new one, right? No such thing as germ theory. The world is flat. Those used to be the science.
Yeah, well,
but to me, it's the blanket trust the science. To me, it's no different than like World War I. You putting the feather in the hats of the soldiers who wouldn't go to war, or the military-age males who wouldn't go to war, and you embarrass them. What, you don't want to go defend the homeland? No women will fuck you? So the hot women used to put white feathers in the hair or the hats of guys who didn't go into the draft and go fight on the Western Front. And everyone's, oh, you're not a patriot? Mm-hmm. But we now look back at World War I as the most pointless slaughter of all time. So it's... I'm very hesitant when everyone hides behind one big trust this. It's no different than a politician saying, but it's for the children. Or, are you against the Patriot Act? What are you, Roger? Are you not a patriot?
Yeah.
It's the global war on terror.
I'm not against patriots. I'm against the dots in between the letters.
Are you? Well, that sounds like something a fascist would say. Are you against the USA Patriot Act? Are you against the global war on terror? Who are you, Roger?
Yeah.
If
we don't serve these no-knock warrants, how are we going to catch the bad guys?
Are you against the Manhattan Project? What, you don't like New York? What are you, a communist?
Yeah.
That's where my worry comes in, because you have the vast majority of people that say trust the science are saying it with good intentions and good faith, but there are some fucking foxes hiding or the wolf hiding amongst those people who are going, exactly, trust the science, trust the science. Saddam has WMDs.